Hi everyone, how's it going and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at the FPL method that I used to take me from 399,000th in the world all the way up to 38,000th in the world in just one season. Now this is very easy, it's literally just planning properly, and I'm going to take you over the spreadsheet that I use to plan properly in FPL and give myself the best chance at getting a good rank. Now, some backstory into this. I'm mainly a Sky Fantasy Football player and decided 2 years ago to take a dive into FPL and play for the first season. So 2 years ago, played for the first season, played very casually, just as a casual player would, making normal transfers, not really looking too much into detail about things. And I finished 399,000th in the world. The second season, I decided I wanted to take it a bit more seriously, and that's when I got the spreadsheet out, just as I did for Sky Fantasy Football, and start planning properly, and boom, I got 38,000th in the world, which for me, I was very happy with, especially with the amount of players that play in FPL. So let's get straight into things. So onto the spreadsheet then, there really are only two proper sections that I use for this, therefore it's very, very easy to plan for yourself. If you've watched the Sky video on this already, you'll know it's very, very similar on how to plan properly in Sky. But this one for FPL, it's very similar. We're starting off with a fixture ticker. Now, for those who just play the game casually, you probably don't really look too much into the future for fixtures. So this is why this is very helpful, because you can see when teams are going to have a good run of games and when players in your squad have a bad run of games, and it might be time to look at transferring them out. And when you plan like this, you save yourself a lot of -4s, -8s, and you save yourself a lot of points from transfers because you know weeks in advance what you're going to be doing. So as I said here, you can look at maybe starting off with an Arsenal player, and then all the way up until whenever you want. The main one I think would be Liverpool. You can have a look at the first few fixtures and think, I don't really want a Liverpool player, and then by game week 9 you can plan that you want to have a Liverpool player in and save yourself a few transfers and again some points. But the main part that I wanted to show off was this section here. Now this is where everything really happens in terms of the planning. This is where you can look at your current draft. This is what I've got on the screen. My current draft here, and the fixtures all the way up to game week 9, and then I've got a watch list here as well with a couple players that could come in at some point. So here I've got just basically everyone in the squad, including the bench, and then over here is where the proper planning comes into it. Game week 1, I've got the starting 11, and you can see everyone's fixtures, and then you've got the planned bench as well just below. So I've only got the first 3 game weeks on for here, but you can go as far as you want, 6, 7, 8 game weeks as far as possible, which is what I normally do anyway. But just for this video, I've got the 3 planned so far, as it's just a small draft right now, not the final squad. So we've got the first starting 11, everyone's fixtures are okay, and then the planned bench as well. Then game week 2, we've got the starting 11 again with the planned bench. Game week 3, the same. Just below is where the transfers would come in. So this isn't a transfer that I've actually got planned. This is just one for the sake of the video. And game week 3 is Eze transferring out for Mbeumo. Eze would have been in the bench twice, which again is just a positive of planning. You can see players who are going to end up on the bench quite a lot, and you can just transfer them out for someone else, especially good if they are worth a lot of money. So game week 2, Eze's on the bench. Game week 3, Eze comes out, and Mbeumo comes in, plays, Nunez drops to the bench. Now Eze to Mbeumo probably isn't a transfer that I would be making, because I probably wouldn't want to drop Nunez to the bench, but as I say, it's very easy to get very transfer happy when you're not planning and just transferring players out every single week. Could end up transferring Nunez out. Where's Nunez here? Could end up transferring Nunez out for Newcastle so that I could get someone else in, and then you're missing out on 3 easy fixtures afterwards, So planning is very, very crucial to getting a good rank in FPL. And this isn't something that has to be done on a spreadsheet. You can easily do this in a notebook just by writing down the player and their fixtures and just going through the different game weeks. For me, a spreadsheet's easier just because I've got them here and I know how to use them. But like I say, a piece of paper is plenty, especially if you want to get a good rank. And it's you give yourself a very good shot at winning your mini leagues. In Sky, I've won the mini league the last 2 or 3 years, and it's purely just from starting to plan properly, and it gives you a big advantage over everyone else. Now, just down at the bottom here, I've got the expected points for each game week. Now, this gives you a good idea of how many points you're expected from the game week, and I'll go onto the website which I use for that in a minute. But like I say, you can kind of have something along here. I can copy this and then I can paste it down here. Now, if you wanted 2 separate teams, maybe I had a team with Ramsdale in it, a team with Trent in it, just for example. That way you can look at it and then maybe you'll have, say, a different expected points, and you can compare both the teams, see which one's due to get more points, and then you can go for that. I used it for my wild card last year. I think it was game week 28 I used my wild card, and I had 2 separate wild cards which I was very 50-50 with which one I wanted. Had one team there, had the fixtures for the next 8 games, had the next team, had the fixtures for the next 8 games, and then just compared which one was due to get more points, and then went for that team, and as I said, eventually finished 38,000th in the world with it. So the next section is really not that useful, it's just there to play about with. I've got the chips section, and it's just, for example, I've got a wild card here in game week 8, and I would just make drafts and I would be able to see the fixtures. Again, I'd never really use this, it's just when, say, a wild card or a free hit comes about, and it's just to put loads of different drafts in and compare them side by side. Again, can see the expected points and stuff. And then I have the notes section as well, which really is just in case I forget a couple things. You can just write whatever on here. And again, this is probably going to be easier on a piece of paper because you can just jot down whatever you think. But yeah, so that's some FPL rules that I wrote when I first started the game, just so I didn't forget about it. So moving on then to FPL.team. This is the website I use for the expected points. Again, it basically just helps you plan for future game weeks. So I've got my current draft here, and as you can see up the top, it gives you the expected points for each game week. And if you scroll down a wee bit, you can also use your chips, and it would tell you. So if I was to use my bench boost this week, I go from basically just to 63 points, so you would see it's not useful whatsoever. I get an extra 5 points from using a bench boost according to the app. So this is FPL.team. The only thing you need to get on is your FPL ID, and then you can log in and use whatever. You don't need to put an email in or anything, you literally just put your FPL ID in. If you want to find out what your FPL ID is, just look it up. It's not that hard. You just go on the FPL website, click your game week history, and then it's in the URL there as well. So game week 1, this is the team. Game week 2, I believe, so I've already got it set up where Chilwell comes on and Eze goes onto the bench, and we have 47 expected points. And then game week 3, I've not done this yet. So game week 3, Eze comes out and Mbeumo goes in. If this will let me do it, there we go. Mbeumo at 6.5 is right here. So then you make that transfer in game week 3, and it saves the previous game weeks as well. So it's literally very good for planning. And then Mbeumo comes in, and there is, I'll probably drop in points here, as I said this. Oh no, so I'll get 2 extra points from doing that. And then Darwin drops to the bench. So going on to the previous game weeks, as you can see, it has saved. So Eze starting in game week 1, 58 expected points. Game week 2, Eze drops to the bench, Chilwell comes on. And game week 3, Mbeumo's transferred in for Eze, and Nunez drops to the bench. So you can really do this for as far as you want. You can plan your wildcard squads early on if you're making that, and as you can see, the expected points change in every single game as well. So I really recommend this, especially for planning, and this is what I like to use, and it's totally free as well, so it's worth it. So that wraps things up then. Nothing too intricate, nothing too special, literally just a spreadsheet. with 1 or 2 slides on it, and then using the one website. Obviously there's loads of other FPL websites out there that are fantastic, but I just wanted to show you the ones that I used to boost my rank the way it did, and that's just exactly what I did last season, using a spreadsheet to plan a few games in advance, and then using FPL Live as well, just to see some expected points and compare different drafts. Obviously this video isn't for the veterans or the very good FPL players, but hopefully this helped a few of you out who are struggling to maybe win the mini league or struggling to creep into the higher ranks, and hopefully you can use this to boost your rank this year and win your mini leagues, as I say. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.